Welcome everyone, featuring Truth and Dolphin and Steve
Chmilar.
Steve Chmilar. We're here to both celebrate music and not so much Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving's drawing a bit on the audience today, but and also to feature four teas that have been prepared by Jared Nyberg's company, JagaSilk, in this cold brew format, which I personally, it's not just because this is my company's tea, although it helps, but this format that they've come up with is really remarkable. They have a pasteurizing machine and they're able to offer cold brew tea in essentially a champagne bottle, which really works tremendously well for people who are looking for an elevated experience to go with dining, but don't necessarily want, alcohol and things like that. I personally love it, and so today we're going to.
This is a special one too, right?
This is a special one. This is Jared calls it black tea. It's also known as ripe pour or show pour, and it's from a little company called Cloudwalker Tea, which I'm personally fond of because I own it.
Yeah, it's an alliance.
And
yeah,
this will be, and so this is, Jared's been very good. He's made quite a range of these cold brew teas, including white teas and cliff teas, all different, the whole sort of rainbow spectrum of different types of teas. And this happens to be a dark tea. Now, with dark teas, like this pour, they're best enjoyed at the end of a series of teas. So the first tea that we're going to be having, we'll let you eat first because it's better you can eat first. This will be our fourth of 4 teas. Mm-hmm. And so generally with tea we go from lighter progressing towards darker, much like with wine, and younger progressing towards older. This one happens to be from 2006, and we'll give these. The musicians are parched.
They're always parched.
Yeah,
So
well,
true.
yeah, they're parched for tea this time, which seems odd for musicians. But
we're here for it. We're here for it.
this particular tea, because of
we
the
almost
nature
had some.
because of the nature of the processing, has virtually no caffeine.
Really?
So, yes.
The colour is astounding. Isn't it beautiful? Absolutely astounding. And you just wow your hosts when you show up with this.
Well, one thing is this is a new product. This is virtually revolutionary within the tea industry. Jared's one of the first people in North America to be doing anything like this, and you will be the first person on your blog to have this product available. I think if you do buy it. It's $16 a bottle currently.
Currently,
yeah. Subject to increase at any time.
What the world events as they are.
So
yeah.
this particular tea the variety of tea is called pu'er, and it's from Yunnan, China. So southwestern China near Burma and Laos, and it's produced in the Monghai factory, which is a famous factory, and the color, I think you've done a tremendous job, Jared, to bring out the color that particularly with Steve's here, that you get a lot of the redness. You're looking for sort of
can we try some?
Yeah, please do. A dark sort of blackish red.
Okay.
Well, it looks elegant.
And this one's from
Very
2006.
Party.
Party. That's spelled with a T-E-A.
Finish
Yeah.
without the first.
I haven't even tasted it yet. I can get these aromas.
Oh yeah.
I was hoping that
Yeah.
we'd get corks in them and then decarbonate it so we could shoot corks at each other. But apparently that's a little too festive for Victoria.
Well, yeah.
That is a guy thing.
No,
It's a guy thing.
You know,
It's
apparently,
not a woman thing. It's a guy
it's
thing.
the slow release of the gas.
I don't
that
apologize unless I have to.
So this is Eric's his first go at doing a little bit of leading this talk today.
Oh
So,
yes.
yeah.
Do we have to transition to music?
We can talk about both. Yeah. No, we're and I mean, but maybe before we do that, just a reminder that this is the last session of the musical tea series. So this is the 6th session. We've had
Is your sister coming?
Sister Speak performed in August. That was fantastic.
Isn't that your sister, though?
Yes.
Actually, oh, sorry.
Yeah, Sister Speak. The question from the audience, and so it was about Sister Speak. And we're also live streaming right now, so hello to everybody who's watching from the live stream. So that's why we keep looking over at this camera. No, it's amazing. So yeah, but yeah, we had Martin Bonham last month, and that was fantastic. Viola da Gamba.
Yes,
and
I was here for that. It was tremendous. We had people spilling over the balconies.
Yeah, it was all
really,
up. It was quite fantastic.
That was absolutely nuts.
Yeah, were you here for that show as well?
Well, I was here for a part of it.
Okay.
I was in between things, and I was like, wow.
Mm-hmm.
What's
Yeah.
next?
It was still completely sold out. Yeah, next year in June, there's gonna be more. But yeah,
Well,
sorry. Yeah, I digress.
next, this is the final music and tea performance of the season. However, next on the calendar is, of course,
Right.
the Victoria Tea Festival,
Yeah.
October 22nd,
Yeah.
right here at JagaSilk.
Wow.
There will be a symposium
Yeah.
of speakers from famous tea personalities from around the world, myself included. Which
Killing it here.
famous and infamous. And Jared and I have known each other since the original sort of previous incarnation of the Victoria Tea Festival. We met.
This one's called Victoria Tea Festival Revival.
10 years ago, and then that festival went away, much as Vancouver Tea Festival unfortunately has gone away.
You're
But
gonna have to put the mic close to your mouth, otherwise our streamers can't hear you.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not used to this. I'm used to
Yeah.
having a headset. Like
Yeah,
Tony
fair.
Robbins.
Fair.
Yeah, next time, think ahead.
Amazing.
Okay, and they've done a tremendous job. COVID sort of took things away, brought them online for a while. You did a 24-hour tea festival, but this year
24
it's
hours
back.
is intense.
It's back. It's in person. It's live. There are some really interesting tea companies coming.
Yeah.
O5 will be here. Great Vancouver Tea Company. Kura Tea Core is being represented from Australia.
Yeah.
They had a really funny thing that I was telling Jared earlier that they had a deal where if you tattooed the name of their company inside your mouth, you'd get a free stack of tea, which I didn't take them up on, but I'm trying to encourage. I don't know if the promotion's still on, but I say go down and
This
do
is
it.
legitimate.
And
This
it's,
is- yeah.
really, yeah. Well, if Facebook is legitimate, gosh,
Yeah,
really.
I think they
No.
stopped. I think they stopped.
They stopped.
It got them,
So
them
don't-
some attention.
don't go out
if
and
you're
do
about
it.
if you're about to tattoo your
Unless you
left,
really want to.
We should do that with Truth and Dolphin.
Yeah, just like get a free album.
No,
You-
t-shirt.
but you got to tattoo Truth and Dolphin, Chronicles of Living Memory Part 1 into your inner lip, right?
And if you get all the lyrics on your back,
Yeah,
you get free Truth and Dolphin cereal
and a sticker.
and a sticker.
Admittance
and a
to
t-shirt,
all
and
concerts
everything you
going
can imagine for life.
Yeah, it's just you just gotta do every lyric, but they keep growing. You gotta keep going.
Yes.
Up to the point, yeah.
Up to the point. Well, we got plans for like a part 2 and a part 3, but part 1 took us.
But can you tell us a bit about your latest album?
Yeah, so we were really. I just had an awesome interview with 92.5 FM where we were in the top 10 of this radio station Kamloops, which was really cool. I've been really happy to. It's been amazing to have a chance to learn from my sister, so Sherry Ann, for the marketing side of things. So that's been really cool. So I've been able to get this album out to a number of different radio stations across Canada, and we've been able to see some. You can see reports of where your albums are played, and we've been seeing radio play in Quebec, and we've been seeing radio play in Ontario and in the Yukon, but we hadn't seen much in BC, so it was really exciting to get into their top 10 in their rotation. So that was awesome. And I mean, Steve he used to front the Villains back in the day, and then he's been doing a solo project for quite some time, and he's a visual arts painter, and he's been amazing to come and join me for the live performances. So Steve didn't write the songs on the first album, but he's learned them, and we've sort of transformed them into something really, really meaningful for the live performances. And we're also working on some songs together that's going to go on the second album. The first album is done with my good friend Corey Christensen, who sometimes joins me for performances when he's not. He has 2 kids, and it's been interesting. But we've been writing still a lot, so the songwriting process keeps happening. And anyways, the songs themselves are very poetry focused. Everything starts with lyrics. So a lot of songwriters are going to write their songs in different ways, but my songs are always the lyrics happen before the melodies, and then they're added on afterwards. So like finding those melodies and finding a way to weave it into the song structure has been a really interesting and fun part of it. It ends up being very stripped back. I really believe in stripped back sound, so I love that acoustic, percussive, folk, kind of creepy rhythms and stuff. And I find that stuff really, really, really fun. And Steve's been actually for the live performances bringing his looping prowess to the table, and so we've been experimenting with using the looping pedal, and that's been really fun too. Yeah. So I don't know if that answers your question.
I don't know.
May I suggest CKUA radio in Edmonton?
Edmonton?
All right. They have 18 transmitters, all 100,000
Yeah, they're great.
recording.
Excellent.
Yeah, you know,
I'm
actually,
listening to CKUA. My partner was with them for 40 years.
amazing. Yeah, I think the band that you were with in the 2000s was on the radio in Alberta, right? Calgary?
Yeah, well, it was a rock band, so we didn't get played on CKUA. They didn't, it was too crazy
Well,
with that.
that was then.
But that station is great. Yeah,
But now
my
it's
mother
different.
to this day listens to that. It's
Yeah, yeah.
on her
Yeah.
radio constantly.
Yes.
Always, yeah, only CKUA.
But
Just
they're
because
not
and all the
like-
other options there are just they pale by comparison.
They do.
Just commercial radio, country
Oh,
music
God.
stations up in northern Alberta. Yeah,
Yeah.
CKUA was really
Oh, they're brilliant.
a beacon in the radio sphere
It's
while I was a kid. Yeah, and to this day, yeah, they have a really excellent programming. I would think that Canada-wide, they probably have some of the best programming.
Yeah.
Amazing. Could you be on them now? Are you?
Could I personally?
Yeah. Are we gonna go for it? Is
Well,
this
Truth
Chmilar?
or Dolphin would
we
be
fit the bill?
suitable, but my own previous music would not. It was
The
too-
villains, but now,
Yeah, that
but
was-
Steve doing. You have some solo work on Spotify. That seems like it would fit the bill. No.
A couple of those tunes maybe, but that was still the same band. That was more
Sure.
rock oriented.
Okay.
Whereas some of what I'll be doing here today is not yet released in a recording.
Right.
So
But it will happen.
Yeah.
yes,
Yes.
fall 2027. Studio is booked.
Amazing. Yeah. And I mean, to put things in perspective, Steve, if you haven't had a chance to check it out, his visual arts work, his painting, are museum quality paintings, and he's like painting ahead 3 years in advance. His stuff is so sought after. He's an amazing visual artist. If you check out Steve Chmilar's Painted World, some pretty amazing things.
Where? Painted World?
Steve Chmilar's Painted World, yeah.
Well, the easiest way to find it is just my name.
Ah.
.com. So Steve
Okay.
with a V, and then my last name is kind of weird, Chmilar. So I think I have a couple of cards that I can just give out. It's much easier.
But some of the videos that he's put up, and I had the good fortune of, and early on in many of our rehearsals, to go to his house when he had just this epic painting up with that creature on the table and the accordionist underneath it, and there was like, he was spending days and days and days on just the texture of the wallpaper. Weeks, months, months, yeah, just on the texture of the wallpaper. Like amazing quality stuff. So yeah, really, he's all in in his art.
Definitely.
Anyway, cool. This is tasting great, by the way.
Excellent.
So yeah, I guess we're probably don't have a.
Can I ask you a question about the color?
Sure.
How that happens?
Yeah.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
Well, this type of tea begins like basically every other type of tea as a green colored tea. And it actually, the way they process it nowadays, it actually tastes very similar to what a green tea would taste like. However, through the process of heat and humidity and time, there are various processes for doing this. They accelerate the fermentation of the tea. So this is called a post-fermented black tea. So it starts out greener, and then they mature it. This one would have been on an accelerated timeline, but this is designed to imitate what happens with a pour tea over 20 or 30 years. So this mimics that sort of process, and so the withering, the composting essentially of the leaves produces this dark color, and also changes the taste and a lot of other aspects. aspects of it, and it does end up being virtually uncaffeinated as you
And they're sold really interestingly too, hey, in these bricks. And they were broken apart though
In
by
bricks.
Yeah.
By me.
Oh, yeah.
by Eric.
I didn't charge you for the labor.
No.
which I should.
Yeah.
But yes, they come in compressed form, just 250 gram brick. So and fairly tight. Some they can be varying levels of compression, and then you have to take a knife or a letter. I use a letter opener or a needle or something, and
Yeah.
crack
Break
them
it
open.
apart.
And then, much like with many types of wine, they benefit greatly from breathing. So you break it open, and then after a couple of weeks, the taste, the flavor mellows tremendously. They become much more lush. Bottling it.
We're pretty stoked.
I'd have to say, as a painter too, I'd like to comment on the color because it is slightly more transparent than red wine, and therefore I think because the light can penetrate through the transparent liquid, it has a more enjoyable color than red wine, because in the center we have closer to more of an alizarin crimson sort of leading out to magenta through the midtones, and then we have kind of a amber sort of a color going towards the highlights, and I think that's somewhat because of the transparency. If it was more opaque, you wouldn't see that. So that's quite interesting.
That is super fascinating.
Yeah.
How do you
Excellent.
store it in the bottle? Once it's open,
3 days in the fridge.
in the fridge?
Yeah, with the lid on it. Yeah, that's what you got to do. But it's a 2006, so your question is really interesting, especially when it comes to the dry storage, because the tea, normally when you're getting teas, right, like they're fresh. It's all about fresh. However, with this style of tea, post-fermented black teas that Eric's talking about, maybe you want to speak to the fact that this is not a 2022 tea, and that's actually a good thing for this particular style, right?
Sure. Yeah, they tend to. A good tea will improve with age. This style of tea doesn't vary tremendously from year to year, but they will continue to improve and evolve. They don't evolve as radically as the raw version, which is the compressed green version, where you intending to age those for decades in order to turn them into this sort of darker color tea. But it can become quite involved. But the short answer is yes, it's more desirable to have a vintage tea in most cases, provided that the tea was made well in the beginning. This is from one of my friends that has a factory over there that produces some really tremendous teas and makes tea for government and that sort of thing. And me.
And you've government and Eric.
You need juice to get tea like this.
It's just he uses the bribe tea. There you go.
No, this isn't quite bribe tea.
Okay.
I can get bribe tea.
You can get bribe
But
tea.
it's-
That's an
the prices
institution
are
in
inflated
China.
for
Yeah.
they've kind of tried to be cracking down on that.
Mm. Fair.
But
Wow.
is it time to get to the music?
Yeah, I think we're well. I mean, we're gonna. This
I'm
is
excited. I heard the sound check.
Yeah.
This is tremendous.
We're gonna have a lot of. I think we're gonna have a little bit too much fun. Yeah. So Steve's actually gonna start off doing his solo work for half an hour, and then we're gonna take a break, and we'll have Truth and Dolphin come on after that, and Eric will be talking about the teas as we go through them.
I know even less about the other teas than I do about my own.
So it's gonna be really exciting.
I find it more accessible if I sound like I don't know what I'm talking about.
Good. Okay. That's,
I'm improvising too, so
Yeah, we-
Before the music, could we have some tea?
oh, we're gonna do that. Yeah, we're about to get to that. So for those in the audience, we will have tea and dessert to start things
We've
off.
almost finished eating.
Yeah. Amazing.
Excellent. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks for the tea.
Thank you.
It's been a party to start the musicality.
Amazing. I'll grab that from you.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 6th installment out of 6 of the Tea and Music series. earlier we did the introduction of one of the teas we're going to be having later. Our first performer is Steve Chmilar. He's a visual artist, musician, currently living in Sydney, BC. He's formerly of the band The Villains, one of my favorites. And he's been performing, I love the name, and he's been performing solo since 2008. He's going to be playing original music.
Mostly.
And then later we'll be joining Jared of the Truth and Dolphin. I'd like to inform everyone that unfortunately I've acquired the last Truth and Dolphin t-shirt available. So if you're looking for them, and out of an edition of 40, I got the last one, so you're out of luck. Although I would be willing to sell it for a significant profit.
Is your tongue tattooed?
It's the lip. Yeah, we're something we were talking about earlier. Is there anything you'd like me to add, Steve?
I would like you to add that I have the Truth and Dolphin t-shirt, and I do believe it is a unique beige in particular. It's
Okay.
not just an average beige, it's like
It's a taupe.
it's a patented beige.
Oh, yeah. I think we're going to have people counterfeiting them by the end of the week. I plan to wear mine to the Victoria Tea Festival, which I have to plug again, October 22nd, Victoria Tea Festival here. Be there. Okay. We're looking forward to Steve's performance. The first tea that you're enjoying at the moment is a Chmilar, which means snow dragon. I'm not sure, romanization, I'm not sure how to pronounce this fellow's name, so I'm not going to try. Mr. Like, you could get it very wrong. I do speak Mandarin, so if you had characters on here, Jared, then I'd be able to help you, but unfortunately not. Now, this is a pour varietal of tea. We talked about pour earlier. My company specializes in pour tea. However, this is a pour varietal. So Pour is a city in Yunnan province of China, and it's the central collecting place for probably the top variety of tea in China. It's called Pour, and it's an ageable green tea. However, this Pour leaf tea is processed more like a green tea, and I was sampling it earlier, and I noticed very interesting that the nose on the tea is very much similar to Chardonnay or something like that. But it drinks very much like a green tea, which I found fascinating. Again, Jared has these wonderful bottles. He's pioneering the cold brewed pasteurized tea, which you can keep for weeks.
It's good for 2 years out of
Good for 2 years in the bottle. And you can impress your friends and still drive home however you want. Within reason. So, without further ado, has anyone had any thoughts, having tried a bit of that tea? Did you have any thoughts on it? Or do we have green tea drinkers here?
We're all green drinkers.
We're
It's
all
a
green.
lovely.
It's a very healthy tea, and it goes very well with the daifuku, which Jared is going to be eating for the next 3 weeks. I think. All right. So, Steve. Hi. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Thanks, Ed. That's great. Okay, so I'm going to start off my little set here with some instrumental music, which is going to be done through the technology of a loop station, which is on the floor. So it's quite a fancy little device that has a lot of buttons on it. So what it does, if you're unfamiliar with that, is the signal from the microphone, this microphone in particular, the smaller one, and the guitar goes through the pedal, and I can decide to record that as it's playing, and then play it back as many times as I want, multiple sounds, and stop and start them as many times as I want. So everything that you will hear playing back through the speakers after I start playing music was done live at some point. So some people that walk in after it's already started could think it was canned music, but it's not. So it's just great technology, and we're just going to have some fun and improvise a little bit at first here. So if there are any mistakes, it's not my fault.
Blame technology.
So at this point, the logistics are the hardest thing to deal with. There's a little improvisational, experimental moment there. And you never know what's going to happen, right? Clever segue, because I ended on an A minor, which happens to be the first chord in this original song that I wrote I don't know, 7 or 8 years ago. It's called Little Red Spark. And it's about ideas, how when you first have a new idea, it can be very sensitive. It's like a little sapling, like a little tiny, or a spark, right, before it becomes a flame. It's very easy to extinguish just one single spark. They're very fragile. So as a person that works in the creative field, I thought I would write a song about ideas, and so that's where this little metaphor comes from. It's called Little Red Spark. Little red spark snuffed out by tropical rain. There's a lot of dark clouds looking to ease the pain. Misery, they say, takes more than a few. Won't you come along for the ride? Nothing better to do. Little red spark needs to find a safe place to hide. There's a lot of dark clouds hanging around tonight. Ooh, when I catch out be a blinding light. But tonight that little red spark needs a place to hide. Try the streets between the trees in a deep, dark wood. Never mind what's left behind, and if you could. Never mind changes in time and what's the same. Never cease a desire to turn into a flame. Little red spark needs to find a safe place to hide. 'Cause there's a lot of dark clouds hanging around tonight. Ooh, when I catch out be a blinding light. But tonight that little red spark needs a place to hide. Tonight that little red spark needs a place to hide. Tonight that little red spark needs a place to hide. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, this next song is one that I wrote. I'm trying to just pin this down. I was trying to remember when I wrote this one. I think it was around 2010, before I moved to Toronto for 6 years. To spend time painting in an apartment across from a bunch of other apartment buildings. How inspiring. So now I realize, as a visual artist, you don't have to be where the action is, really. You can just paint anywhere and then spend about 1% of the year where the action is. So I think of a more peaceful place in nature is almost like the workshop, and the city to me is like the sales floor. But it was good. It was a good experience. Many things. This song is called "The Weight of the World," and it's kind of in the style of, it's kind of a Jack Johnson kind of a style that I was thinking of at the time. It predates the song by, what's his name again? Macklemore. He wrote a song that was kind of like trying to upsell the idea of secondhand clothes and things like that. We don't have to spend so much money to look good and whatnot. So it definitely predates that song. Doesn't have anywhere the exposure that that song did. Probably because it wasn't even recorded, so I can't really expect much. It's called The Weight of the World. I don't need to be in style. I got a second-hand jacket and a first-class smile. Found out long ago it's not how you look, it's what you know. And I don't need to look for much. I got a full refrigerator and a lover's touch. What more could I need? My address is Utopia, BC. It's so hard to try and please your rational views and ideas. And I don't need to follow along. Got my very own beat and a personal song, but it goes out to you. I trust you because you're so true. And it's so hard to try and please your rational views and ideas. And I got tired long ago, so I relieved myself from the weight of the world. And I don't need to be in style. I got a second-hand jacket, but a first-class smile, and I doubt that you know I like to leave my price tags at home. Thanks so much. Speaking of fashion, I just have to draw some attention to my intentional tatters here. It's from, I guess it kind of has a bit of a Halloween feeling to it. It was for a painting that I was doing. It was a prop for a painting, so I've considered that maybe I should start to dress like some of the characters in my paintings. That maybe, you know, because if you're in the visual arts, people expect you to look a certain way, right? There's all this pressure.
Killing me, Steve. Killing you? Okay, let me resuscitate you.
All right, this song is called Waiting for the End. Hopefully that's not what anyone is doing right now. Right. He is a man of good intentions, but he forgot to mention there's another side, and only some can see the light, or so they say. Hey, says he's waiting for the end, and you know he can't pretend it ain't coming, 'cause he's waiting just to see what becomes of She's gotta move on, shines her shoes, and now it's just a matter of sweet time. With little book in hand, talking about them big old plans for you and I. Oh my, 'cause she's waiting for the end, and you know she can't pretend it ain't coming. And she's waiting just to see what becomes of you and me. But even if I tried and I would, so I couldn't. Birds dressed in the same feathers feel so good when they're together. Is it the truth or an excuse, or just a way to feel better? 'Cause we're waiting for the end, and you know we can't pretend that it ain't coming. We're waiting just to see what becomes of you and me. But even if I tried, I can't wait no longer, so let's go. All right. Thank you. Alright, this is a cover song. It's by a group called the Water Boys. Well, I wish I was a fisherman, tumbling across the seas, far away from dry land and its bitter memories, casting out my sweet line with abandonment and love. No ceiling bearing down on me, save starry skies above, light in my head, you in my arms. Well, I wish I was a great man on a hurtling fever train, crashing headlong to the heartland like a cannon in the rain. The beating of the sweepers and the burning of the coal, counting the towns flashing by in the night that's full and shown, light in my head, you in my arms. I'll be that fisherman, light in my head, you in my arms. and it's bitter memories, casting out my sweet line with abandonment and love. No ceiling bearing down on me, save the starry skies above, laying my head, you in my arms. Laying my head, you in my arms. Alright, one more time. Thank you. Thanks a lot. So that was one of those songs where there's a really beautiful violin section, or a fiddle section, I guess. And so I tried to adapt it to guitar. So that's what that business was about. This is a song called Say, Say, But Never Do. It's an original one. I think I wrote it one time when I was a bit frustrated with working with a couple of people that just weren't holding their end of the table, you know? So this is dedicated to all of the doers out there. Get things done. Got me all excited now, just talking about maybe this and maybe that. I can't figure out where we're at. And I don't mind shooting the breeze, and I'll lend a hand if you say please. But when I hear we, I hope you don't mean me. So I have to decline, 'cause you say, but never do. I can't tell what's really true. Say you will, then you won't. Say you do, but then you don't know. Say you want, and I know you do, but there's only one way to make it true. Straighten out that line of sight, set that focus up right. 'Cause there's a lot of people running around looking for dreams that are never found. How many times until we figure it out? And if you want more of my time, I have to decline. 'Cause you say, but never do. I can't tell what's really true. Say you will, then you won't. Say you do, but then you don't know. words used to be just like gold to me, but their value is decreasing like currency. And I put all my stock one too many times, so now I'm ready to walk down another line. And if you want more of my time, I cannot tell a lie, 'cause we've been here too many times that I have to decline. 'Cause you say, but never do. I can't tell what's really true. Say you will, then you won't. Say you do, but then you don't. Say, but never do. I can't tell what's really true. Say you will, then you won't. Say you do, but then you don't know. Thanks a lot. Thank you. You guys having a good weekend so far? Yeah?
We're here.
As my father-in-law says, above the grass.
I like that.
All right, this is a cover of a cover in some sense. Won't admit you love me, so how am I ever to know? You only tell me, perhaps, perhaps, perhaps. Million times I ask you, and then I ask you over again, but still you tell me, perhaps, perhaps, perhaps. You don't make your mind up whenever you get started, and I don't wanna wind up being hearted, broken hearted. So if you really love me, say yes, but if you don't, girl, confess. Just please don't tell me, perhaps, perhaps, perhaps. If you don't make your mind up, we'll never get started. And I don't wanna wind up being parted, broken hearted. So if you really love me, say yes. But if you don't, girl, confess. Just please don't tell me, perhaps, 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 perhaps. time for a couple more songs? Okay. I'm going to play an original song that's called G-flat minor delight. I think it was lack of creativity on the title behalf. But hopefully the rest of the song makes up for that. It's kind of a creepy one, I guess. I'm generally not this kind of a person, you know, dressed in black. I'm generally more cheery. But this song is kind of one of those more of a black nail polish kind of a songs, except it's on acoustic, right? So that's a little bit of a different kind of a mix. Usually that kind of music is more of the electric guitars and, you know, spiky hair and that kind of stuff. So a little bit of a different mix. This one's called G-flat minor delight. When you touch me, I'm inclined to cry. When you kick me, I look you straight in the eye and say, I was made to never go away like a crow that couldn't fly. He never had a choice, so he used his voice and tried every note he could find. But it wasn't quite enough, so we tried the stuff that made his mind explode. And then he met a man with a devious plan that showed him just where to go. When he said, I was made to never go away like a crow that couldn't fly. He never had a choice, so he used his voice and tried every note he could find. Every note he could find.
Taking a second here to turn mine off.
When you hug me, never gonna feel the same. When you I can't tell the name, but I said, I was made to never go away like a crow that couldn't fly. He never had a choice, so he used his voice and tried every note he could find. Thank you. All right, I'm gonna play one more song. This one is a cover song. It's the kind of cover song that I usually never do before. I think when this came out around 2012, I probably didn't like it because it was popular and it was on the radio. I'm such a nonconformist, you know, I just don't like anything popular. But, you know, many years later, a decade later, I'll do it as a cover. Actually, it's Canadian, Serena Ryder. People working every night and day, never give yourself no time, got too many bills to pay. Slow down, nothing's gonna disappear if you give yourself some room to move to the music that you hear. You gotta get up, listen to me, clap your hands, stomp your feet. People looking for the great escape, looking to the greener side, try
better way. Slow down, open up your big brown eyes, feel the rhythm in your heart. You don't even need to try. Gotta get up, listen to me, clap your hands, stomp your feet. Nothing's wrong if you move to the beat. Clap your hands, stomp your feet, hey, stomp your feet. When you can't seem to shake off all the feelings that are breaking, little pieces of the music that are in you. Well, the pain that you feel, I can prove that it's not real. 'Cause there's just one thing you gotta do. Gotta get up, listen to me, clap your hands, stomp your feet. Nothing is wrong if you move to the beat. Clap your hands, stomp your feet, oh, stomp your feet, stomp your feet, stomp your feet.
Thank you. Thanks a lot for listening. Cool. So I'm going to be playing again with Jared coming up shortly. So we're called Truth and Dolphin. This, just by myself here, is just Steve Chmilar. That's me. But with Jared, it's Truth and Dolphin, just to clarify. And unfortunately, I don't have a lot of music currently online to hear. I was in a band called The Villains back in Calgary throughout 2002, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we had 3 albums which are searchable online. I think YouTube is actually the easiest place to see it. If you look at The Villains, there's a few other bands out there called The Villains, so you'd have to look up The Villains from the River. That's one of the songs that actually had quite a bit of radio play with that song, which was very exciting at the time. And then currently, I'm online with my visual art. I paint constantly, and so my name, Steve Chmilar, CHMILAR .com. Again, my last name is CHMILAR. How's the tea?
Very nice.
Very nice.
Thank you very much, Steve. That was wonderful.
Oh, yes, I really should take a picture of it.
Just to quickly introduce this, I'm getting used to the microphone. I don't want to tangle it with these, I've got these braces in right now. I'm trying not to tangle it in there and electrocute myself this early in the day. I'll wait till later. So the tea that Jared is pouring for you right now is a Darjeeling tea. It's one of 2 very high quality Darjeeling teas that we're going to be sampling. This is from the Gadapahar estate. It's above 1,700 meter in the
Himalayas.
foothills of the Himalayas. Let's not call it the Himalayas.
Sure.
Which would be fun if we could get that. But and it's from a multi-generational family estate. Started in 1884 in India, and Jared won't let me tell you how much he paid for it, but he paid a lot. And so I hope you enjoy it.
We'll just say I spent more on this than I ever have on anything other than okay. And we'll be back after a short break with Truth and Dolphin. So.
So you can, now hold off if you don't, if you like, if you can. You can stand it, please. So you're going to have this is the avant-bro, as opposed to the Gidapahar. Now, both are Darjeeling, both are from similar elevation. It's basically the same tea grown on a different estate. So this is also similar, sort of late 19th century family estate, now owned by a large multinational company, as is the way. However, it has excellent roots. And we're offering fresh glasses so that the oils and the aromatics of the first tea don't interact with the second one, and you're able to get a distinct view from one to the other. Hope you enjoy it. It's also my first time trying this tea. I'm very excited. Again, it's very high quality Darjeeling, so I'll leave it at that. Thank you.
I really love this one.
Eric.
So we'll see what this one's. Now, are the names?
Oh, yes.
One shot.
And while I'm here, Jared Nyberg will be joining Steve Chmilar as your headlining performers, Truth and Dolphin. Please welcome them after Jared finishes pouring tea.
You're also a superb musician.
Thank you. It's funny, when I was a kid, I started drawing from a very young age.
On the farm.
Oh, just constantly. It's all I did when I was a kid. Was just fill any blank paper that I could find. And then in my early teen years, I kind of got bored with drawing. It was so familiar to me. And then I guess subject matter and kind of trying to draw things very realistically. I kind of, at some point, I figured I kind of learned the formula, and then I didn't really have any other ideas besides just copying something that's already been done.
Yeah.
And it was kind of boring to me. So I kind of looked for a new challenge, and then music to me was like a complete challenge because I started from nothing. I didn't know how to play anything, and so that completely took all my attention. And then so I did that for years, but then eventually still came back to drawing because I started so young, which is kind of so much more natural still. But it's really interesting to take it from that angle and go back and forth between the two.
Yeah.
Make it happen.
Yeah.
As a painter, I'm quite interested in the connection too between the musical sort of auditory signals that you must be getting versus those visual signals, and how kind of interconnected and unrelated but related they are. It seems like there'd be a lot of interesting connections between the two arts. But
Oh yeah, synesthesia, I think is the term. And I went to art school for a couple of months just as like an introduction program in Calgary. And I didn't know it at the time, but I made a little project on matching chords with colors. And so like hearing a chord and then saying, oh, that's orange and red. And that was the little presentation that I made. But years later, I realized the term is called synesthesia, which is when you hear something, you also see something, or vice versa.
right, yeah, no, I'm actually fascinated by just the connection between not only audio and visual, but audio and sensory. I have a fascination with playing music. I've been doing writing songs since I was in high school, and been in a number of different bands. And I did something really silly in my early 20s. I decided to start a small business with my wife to support a music career. Now, of course, the small business completely took over my life. But it's been interesting because after 5 years of what we call, the speed of a glacier, we put out our first album. So, 2015 to 2020, and we released it in 2021. And we were really excited about that. We released it. I did a full release. We've had radio play across Canada on small independent radio stations. Truth and Dolphin it's a labor of love, for sure. And I was explaining to some of our audience members who were here before, but Truth and Dolphin is a lot of the songs on the album and the poetry book and kind of art book that we have, all of them really were written with Corey Christensen, an amazing instrumentalist. And Steve, I met actually through my sister, who's also a musician. She's a career musician. That's what she does for her main thing. You should check out Sister Steve. He joined me for the live performances, and we've been sort of reinventing or reinterpreting the songs and been writing some new ones. Really hoping for some of them to be they're going to be on this next album. But I often joke it took me, 40 years to get out my first album. So, part 2 will probably be when I'm 80. Somewhere around there. We'll see what happens. But no, we're having fun. I actually think that we have enough material. My fingers are crossed, but I think Chronicles of Living Memory, this is part 1. It's going to be a trilogy. Part 2 is shaping up to be done by next year. So here's. So anyway, this first song is called Let's Do the Pavement.
Commercials and whores, what's the difference anymore? I receive a cash payment and my ear is to the pavement. Turn on our cell phones, drill holes through our brains. We and all of the sickness is caused by the wave. The evanescent glow of the box in the room does the thinking for them and confines them in gloom. Petrified to break the cycle and possibly act alone. The key they give us isn't cobs or fits, so we've got to pick the locks and make our own. His eyes squinting, trying to read the cards that have been written by another's hand. Yeah, tell me you know where we are. A single-room apartment, a cubicle in the hive, slow revert to lava. Down the big surprise. Air-conditioned sickness and a life in plastic wrap sucks away the sweetness and tell me where we're at. That wasn't what you were supposed to do. You were supposed to live and live it true. Do you know what to do when you can? Cause I've got too much to say, too many ways to say, lying naked in broad day. No other way to say what I wanna say, I've got to find
my ear off of the pavement. Get my ear off of the pavement. To get my ear off of the pavement. Get my ear off of the pavement. Thank you, thank you. So, again, all these songs are lyrics first, so this is a poetry book. This is a poetry album. We're gonna do The Chain next. And that's actually, this was a false alarm, the harmonica. You thought it was coming, you know, it was there. We've been joking about this for a while now, that but we made it happen.
Yeah, hold on, I can't start until I got the harmonica on.
And then don't even play it. Okay, so this song is called The Chain.
Rain, it pours down softly, it forms a sharp repose. It starts to diffuse partly in shallow puddles grows. I swing step forward lightly and stop before the step that brings me upward wanting. Instead I choose to rest. The train, it pulls us forward inexorable, its wheel buzz. Strain a little backward, we can adjust. So society makes its demands, bends us, shapes us, or tries to marginalize the spirit that within our soul resides. We have it in our power, we are careful, strategize to express the inner spirit, not conform or normalize. That makes the artist, the art that inspired change, the weird that do what matters. It's the heretic that creates faith. The train that pulls us forward inexorable, its wheel buzz. Bring a little backward, we can adjust. Society makes its demands, bends us, shapes us, or tries to marginalize the spirit that within our soul resides. We have it in our power, we are careful, strategize to express the inner spirit, not conform or normalize. La 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 la. We also had plans to just loop
this over and over, and then we go and have tea, and we go hang out maybe over at the Empress or something, and then we come back and we just like leave some scarecrows and see what would happen. We almost did it, but we decided to hold off. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, this is one of my favorite musical styles. I learned from a fellow who specializes in, well, I didn't learn from him directly, but listening to his music, who specializes in 1500s music. His name's Jordi Savall. Love his work. Over 100 albums, United Nations Artist for Peace. But one of the kind of compositions that he likes to bring forward is this style called the folias. And the folias are a kind of progression of notes that are played by cultures all over the world. And then what happens is it's basically played in over and over and over again, and then you have another instrumentalist who's weaving around that. So I love writing songs this way, where we come up with an interesting chord progression, and then it's just this weaving that happens. That was essentially what you were hearing for the first two songs here. But this song, this is a little different. I think we're gonna bust out that loop pedal. I think so. Be prepared for some looping magic. This is called Breathing, more recent lyric.
I breathe and breathe and breathe, but can't get over breath. I feel as if it is never enough. I try to calm down, it's to take it slow. Too many things to do with nowhere to go. In a motoring quest, so spread so thin that I'm losing my essence, becoming too pungent as I lose all salty. I breathe and I breathe, but can do so deeply out. No time for contemplation, no time to reflect, just this pounding sense of impounding death. Too many things around me are disorganized, so cause me to feel as if I'm unable. Wow. Whoa. I need to kill the state that burns the back of my neck. I need to step back a bit and take a deep breath, because this mental fantasy to always be accepted. Pounding on this mental state and it is hurting now. Oh yeah. Go for breath, the feel as if it is never enough. I try to calm down, it's to take it slow. Too many things to do with nowhere to go. My inner peace of mind, my sense of space and time, I sit down, it's my lips on the same thing, a litany over and over. And when I'm done, I start to realize the lunacy of what I've become. On the space, the workings of this place, a moment for this race to spread itself in view, so the essence of this place taste, and the taste of this wonder will finally find its place. So to fade out of hollowness, I guess would be the key, 'cause the ill-fit anxiety to the place it needs to be. An area reflected so to not cause the pain. That if I around myself with a umbrella on the rain, on the rain. Sometimes in a windstorm it gets hard to stay dry, but the mind is always clear and the heart will always try to supersede the moment and succeed at breathtaking. Strive to be inspired, on fire and awaken out. Oh yeah. I breathe and breathe and breathe, but can get a full breath. The feel as if it is never enough. I try to calm down, it's to taking it slow. Too many things to do and nowhere to go. Oh, breathe and breathe, but can get a full breath. I need to take a moment and find somewhere to rest. Feel in a space where dreaming has some time. It's where I need to be comfortable, sublime, 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 sublime. Sometimes I feel like I'm in danger of ending this wrong. Something like suddenly realize I'm singing the wrong. Thank you very much. We actually had a really good time making that into a music video down at Maple Bay. So if you go on YouTube, you look up Truth and Dolphin, look up the song Breathing. Had a lot of fun. Steve brought his looping pedal, and it was very magical.
It was a black and white video, so you won't be able to see the color of my bow tie in that video was actually bright yellow.
But
it
mine-
looks like it may have been white, but it wasn't.
Mine was gray, so you're gonna see the color of my bow tie. I planned ahead. I'm sorry. Wow. Sorry. Yeah. I planned ahead, and Steve didn't. Yeah. No. Actually, I think wasn't the red on purpose? You wanted like a gray.
No, it was yellow.
Oh, yep.
It was bright yellow.
Compete on bow ties.
There.
We can keep track of these.
I know. It just keeps going on and on. Let's do. Yeah, let's just go for it. Let's go classic. So this next song is actually one that Steve and I wrote together. So the first few here have been one that I wrote with Corey Christensen, who I wrote the album with, and this one is going to be on the next album. The song is called Plastic.
Don't let that slow in. Oh, nice. Woo! That got rock.
Shatters like plastic with manufactured eyes. The sweetness of this temperamental, transparent disguise. There's meaning in impermanence, meaning we create. Sharing the creation manifests a solid state. But if it's not real, you cannot touch or receive. Then be a critical thinker and ignoring what was real. A transparent disguise you say betrays your utter disbelief. Sizing your religion from your reality, no relief. Living in micro and macro, a simple and communal reality. Science is good for sharing, but to decontextualize is so cowardly. We are intimately connected to the so-called plastic that we shatter. Reimagining glass, but put back into fragments. Reimagined as glass, but put back into
into fragments, reimagined in glass, bubble bag into fragments, reimagined in glass, bubble bag into fragments, imagined in glass, bubble bag into fragments, reimagined in glass, bubble bag into fragments, imagined in glass, bubble bag.
That song is,
Shadows like plastic with manufactured lies. The sweetness of this temperamental transparent disguise. There's meaning in impermanence, meaning we create. Sharing that creation manifests a solid state.
nice.
Thank you very much. That one's pretty new. I think, what, like, fifth time performing it, maybe?
7.5.
7.5. Yeah, sorry, 7.5 times. That's right. Yeah.
7 and a half.
So the next song we're gonna play is called "The Girl Crying on the Subway." This is going way back, 2006. I was actually on a subway train in Japan, and there was a young lady crying beside me, and I wanted to ask her if she was okay, but I couldn't. There was some sort of weird, I don't know. It's like, you know, when you see somebody who like obviously needs to just say, "Hey, you okay?" You know, that kind of thing, but they're just like crying, and I was like, I want to say, "Are you okay?" I couldn't, and I felt like a terrible human being, and I wrote the song. Anyway. There's a girl sitting beside me crying, and I don't know what to say. I really want to ask her if she is okay. Something stops me and I don't know what. Her face is in her hand, a cell phone in her other, on her wrist an elastic band. I do not know this girl, young lady, weeping quietly, but my heart goes out to her, totally unequivocally. But my words of comfort stop at my teeth. My mouth remains tight shut. What is this disease brought on by the city life, where we are lonely in the crowd? I do not really know it all, but my voice, it makes no sound. All the people around me wearing suits and tired faces. One man looks uncomfortable, others hold briefcases. Most of them are sleeping, most of them they do not care. To her I'm just some guy writing, she seems to think she might as well not be there. doesn't move. No words can console the lady sitting here beside me. Hundreds on this subway train, but no one feels her pain. We are rocks. We are rocks. We are rocks. We are rocks.
Thank you. All right, so back to something groovy. We're gonna do a song called "Twisted in Knots." This is when it's actually not a looping pedal that he's using. There's actually a small elf who's about like two centimeters tall. He's only 2 centimeters tall.
Yeah, he'd be offended if you say that because it's like 2.2.
But he named himself Steve. It's Evans, right? And Evans likes to play the guitar and come out and like do the performance, but we've convinced him not to. So he's just gonna hang out in what looks like a looping pedal, and you're just gonna have to imagine that it's real. Okay?
That's just silly.
Amazing. Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Okay, the song's called "Twisted in Knots." Twisted in knots within out is fight. A cacophony is tied. The mind is a ride. Twisted in knots within out is fight. A cacophony is tied. The mind is a ride. Queer little clouds up above. Now it's a misdemeanor. Say one thing now, another the next. Next time you should put it a little cleaner. Period. Stress and derision. That's exactly what we make right a decision. And how it feels. Twisted in knots. A humanistic response to the madness. Wishing to be a heretic of this religion of derision, laughter frightened. This religion, happiness is its poison. Irrationality is its doppelganger. Anger is its reason for being. Cancer, my hand. Cancer, my hand. Cancer, my hand. Thou art reviled, and the path is twisted in knots. Within out is fire, the cacophony is tied. This place is not twisted in knots. Within out is fire, the cacophony is tied. The mind is anywhere.
Eyes are glazed,
Punch my stomach,
right as rain,
and I'm just so funny.
not quite written
It never finds a place in my heart.
in this place.
On this path,
That is so.
twisted in knots, within out is fire. The cacophony
So that song is also going to be on the next album, as is the one after this. We're going to be doing a song called Gunshots and Riverbeds. This song is also a new one that Steve and I wrote together. So there's a couple of those that are sprinkled throughout the set. So, but yeah, Twisted in Knots. As I was singing, I was reminded of a moment during one of our sets earlier this year when I was experimenting with using a looping pedal myself for vocals. It was the awesomest thing because I managed to press the start and the stop button at the exact same time, and what I ended up doing is, you can, I think it was the end of The Pavement, the first song that we sang, and I went dum da 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 dum, right? I hit the start and the stop and went brrr, like, oh, it was like crazy.
That's funny.
Crazy sound. It was really, really awesome. Yeah, highlight of my year. Okay, but this song's called Gunshots and Riverbeds. It's a new one.
Right, get ready to be taken to a very desolate, cold place.
No, you can bring a blanket. You can bring a blanket.
It's nice and warm today, though.
Somehow it pulls away like smoke, pulls away like nothing more than a quiet tide knock. On this space, this face, this taste, this space on this face, on this space, this face, this taste, this space on this stage. Gunshots in riverbeds, gold diggers in pain, winking since the moment, grass and oil and rain. All the piece of the hope, on the way of the hope, on the way of the hope, all the piece of the hope. The winter of the peacemaker, the spring of the hunted, the fall of the water, the summer not a mention. The stock job takes its toll and the price is in blood. Demanded, denied, revoked, water runs like a beast. Off the brink of a torment, off the ease of a torment, off the sweat of conviction, the success smells. Gunshots in riverbeds, gold diggers in pain, winking since the moment, grass and oil and rain. Gunshots in riverbeds, gold diggers in vain, winking since the moment, grass and oil and sand. Runs like beads, purified, verified, pulses and blood, blink, you see sweet must. Water runs like beads, purified, verified, pulses and blood, we blink, we see sweet must.
Thank you.
That's nice stuff.
All right, we're gonna.
Cool tune.
I love singing that song with you, man. It's a really good time.
You know, it's more unexpected to end not on a high note.
I like that crazy chord. What's that chord? You did
That's discordant of
the-
what.
Yeah, it's just messed up.
What chord is that, Steve?
I forget the name.
Oh, you can make it up, and we could
Well, it's
rename
got
the
a
song.
name.
We could rename the song by the chord name. Don't you have a song with the chord name?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. That's it. Okay.
It's called G sharp 7
One sec.
sus 4.
see a cello right there too. It's supposed to be like
I'm reminded that we need to take a quick tea moment
Oh, yeah.
for the final tea that's going to be brought to you by Mr. Eric Smith. You can do the narrative. Yeah, this is good. We can do this. We'll do the on to the final tea of the afternoon. We are gonna have Mr. Eric Smith representing ITAS International Tea Appreciation Society. Yeah. And he is the Cloudwalker Man. And this blueberry is from the man. Yeah.
Wow, Jared, man.
That's your jingle.
That was, yeah, well, thank you.
What an
That
intro.
was a tremendously energetic step. Really, really moving instrumental grooves, and I'm not sure if it's the tea talking. Usually it is. I've tried to kind of scale it back a little bit today.
Yeah.
I'm not up to my usual
dessert was-
baseline on tea today. Because I wanted to be at least presentable by the time I got to presenting my tea.
You're right. Yeah.
Perhaps those of you who
Was it your
are.
recipe, or that was her?
Sorry.
I just want to take as you're pouring, so I have the label. Yeah,
It's all good.
because I won't remember.
Anyway, this tea is gracefully prepared and cold brew, pasteurized, bottled by Jared. It's the first collaboration of my tea with
The tea, oh, it is in the.
JagaSilk.
You have another
It's
program.
2006,
Yeah, yeah, if you could drop it.
right, tea brick. And
Oh, there we go. Great.
It's okay. Yeah, no, we got this. Okay.
all right, so the brick is sourced by me and bottled by Jared. It's from a well-known producer in Yunnan, China. Yunnan is, for those of you who don't know, in southwestern China near Burma and Laos, that sort of area. On my website, I refer to it as Golden Triangle tea, which because I find it funny, mostly. And it's the source of it's the original source of tea, the original home of tea, according to Louis, who is a famous Ming Dynasty writer on tea, says that tea originates in the south. So this essentially is where they trace the origins, the original tea bushes are, and they're not in fact bushes, they're more like trees. The oldest tree that we know of, which is under armed guard in China with AKs and a whole bit, is about 3,600 years old. The trees that would have produced this were probably in the 100+ range, which would be considered old growth, but not necessarily antique. Although we do have that. Also, this one was produced in sort of a boom time of the pu'er industry in 2006. And at that time, pu'er went from being this sort of regional, kind of humble pie type tea, and then in the course of about 3 years, it increased in value about 10,000%. Became the most valuable tea in the world. And so it compares very much to vintage Scotch and Bordeaux and that sort of thing. This is a fine, clean example, and it's produced in the ripe method. Now, the ripening method is where you take a green tea, which is very similar to other green teas or any variety of Camellia sinensis, and they use heat and humidity in order to accelerate the fermentation process. It's called a post-fermented black tea, and it mimics in a short period of time the dark tea. It mimics what would happen naturally over the course of, say, 30 years in a storage environment like Vietnam, Hong Kong, Malaysia, that sort of thing. And I find it very good. We got some of the mushroom forest soup. I'm reading the label here, which I probably wrote at some point. But it has a lot of vegetal notes, a lot of sort of earthy, and it's tremendously healthful for you. So it's an excellent digestive tea, and it also has sort of these andinogenic qualities, which refers to relaxing the nerves and also improving fine motor control. So it's very popular among meditators and yogis, and all-round bon vivant like myself. So I'll let you get back to the music, but I hope you enjoy it.
Awesome. Thank you, Eric. Wonderful. First collaboration with Cloud Walker, so super stoked. Cheers. Enjoy your Puer 2006 vintage. Yeah. Fantastique. Okay. All right. And we'll have to. Wait, let's go to no. Okay, so this we're gonna do a song called Each Word. This was the first song that was recorded for the second album that's yet to be released. So.
I was such a fool, leaving you with yourself. Now that I am at home, you're sleeping, I'm left out of your thoughts, of your eyes, of your dreams as you lay next to me, wrapped up like so many sheets, shadows sweet from night of day. Regret experiencing this evening without you near, and I doubt you even noticed. I am full of unexpected feelings, full of million words. You just dream of blissfully, my words is wondering. But wanna believe these feelings, I share with you alone. I'm selfish with you in my arms, but with you and I alone. Racing every heartbeat, beating, struggling to write each word. Dream of blissfully, leave my poems never heard. Been out of the night, regret in my heart, leaving you with yourself. I wanted to be selfish today and not exist anywhere else. But there's things I do that run my life, make me blind inside of my head. Well, I should have been home tonight. Shout your name instead, but I love you and I'm home now. Your energy pure as blue, washing through me, cleansing my soul. Close my eyes, I'm next to you. I am full of unexpressed feeling, full of a million words. You just dream of blissfully, my words ain't falling. Don't wanna believe these feelings, I share with you alone. We're selfish with you in my arms, but with you and I alone. What these things I do that run my life, make me blind inside my head. But I should have been home tonight, 'cause I'm doing them instead. I love you and I'm home now. The energy pure is blue, rushing through me, cleansing my home. With my eyes, I'm next to you. Make me blind inside my head. I should have been home tonight, 'cause I'm doing them instead. I love you and I'm home now. Your energy pure is blue, rushing through me, cleansing my soul. With my eyes, I'm next to you. To you. To you. I was such a fool, leaving you with yourself.
Song's called Each Word. The next song we're gonna do is called Bathrobe, and this one's on the album. This one I wrote for a friend who had a mental health crisis, and I was. I don't even think it was a mental health crisis because all he saw was the stars moving in the universe, and I think it was more of a spiritual moment. That was my opinion. His doctor, though, and he didn't believe what the doctor was telling him, but he was medicated for it. Felt odd at the time, and this was in high school. I remember just thinking how, like, what if you have a spiritual experience? Is that, I mean, you know, I really believe in medication for in the right places, but do you need to be medicated for a spiritual experience? So, anyways, the song is called Bathrobe, and it's about that sort of thought process.
people sit in the waves while I sing to myself, and a scared little boy pretends he's something else. And they move around the piece and sacrifice a pawn. If you're lucky, you'll be a queen. What pray tell are you on? Yellow, different colors and hues disguise the tea. What's happened to you? Conscious, subconscious, sabotage a little world. And look, it is your soul in the fetal position, Harold. What you've done to me, I dislike what you've done to me. La 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 la, la 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 la. My head is shut off, sobbing silently. The smoke hits the lungs, the angels valiantly. Tell her to see a doctor, she coughs into her room, puts on a coat and walks into the ruin of this planet. I dislike what you've done to me. Like what you done to me. La 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 la, la 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 la. In the waves I sing to myself. I'm scared and alone, trying to be someone else. La 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 la, la 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 la. Looks like we have time for just 2 more songs. So we're gonna do a song called What Was Taken Away. If that works for you, Seth?
It does.
Okay, amazing. All right, and this was an interesting experiment for self. So I am a firm believer that songs are gifts. And I think that we live in a disposable sort of commodity culture. And so as a musician, I think I find there's a part of me that wants to always do something new. So I always want new words, new music, new. But I think that, again, it's like a treasure, right? Like you have the song is gifted to you, and so there's almost a responsibility that you need to perform it. So I wrote these lyrics though when I was 17, so it was really hard for me to find it, to cover my own song. I'm 3 million years old now. So it was like a trip back in time. Anyway, found it. Truth and Dolphin has turned into somewhat of a cover band of old music / writing new ones, and this is one of those songs. So we'll see. Deal with one hand, take with the other. Divine woe, I can, I never have a sort of focus, so out of reach. To the pain and storm, to you I beseech. Aroma of angels, beauty coalesced. I will never back down, I will never rest. Look in my eyes, burning flames for myself. I drank in a touch. I watched the smile of an angel. Love right beside me. Felt the terrible anguish as she was torn from me. Saw the smile become subdued. I saw heaven grow so cold. I saw warmth grow cool. Love turned to separation. Glowing eyes, embers die. This is my tribulation. What I did to deserve this fate, I don't know. But now it's too fucking late. Look at my eyes, burning flames for what I seek. Look at my eyes, never did anything look so bleak. But what was given was taken away. But what was taken, I am played. In its path it took away from me. Feel my wrath, feel my sadness swell. Up in the rage, my rage was silent. I am trapped in a cage in which she holds the only key. I will never be free. My angel can't even face me. So focused, so out of reach to the pain and storm. To you, I beseech. Look at my eyes, burning flames for what I see. Look at my eyes, never did anything look so bleak. But what was given was taken away. But what was taken, I have pain. I have pain. Oh, I have pain. I drank in a touch. I drank in a touch. Oh, how I have pain.
Thank you. I'm thinking I return, but you want to do Rock the Institution? Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to use that.
Okay, let's do it. All right. Okay. So last song
No.
of the afternoon. The song is called "Rock the Institution." And we're gonna borrow the help of our little 2.2 centimeters,
Yes.
2.2 centimeter elf friend. So it's gonna be amazing. He's gonna play the drums for us. It's gonna be good times. So we're got our djembe.
All right.
We're going for it. Going for it. Okay.
like what I'm consuming. It's when you love your enemies and like it so hard to see. It's when you love your enemies and like it so hard to see. And follow what I bring into my course of actions and suffer other situations that fall along the way, fall along the way. Find it hard to breathe sometimes in the storm of the hate. It encroaches from all sides, feels like it's time to wake. Find my way out is harder than real things, 'cause I just realized it's all in shades of grey. Turn and sound that march to the ruin of what's real. How do I live if my every act is disruptive? If my violence is subconscious, a domino effect of cause and effect, progressing we finish where we started. So we pause in these paths in the shining light, it's blinding. Eruptive silence burns my cheek, but even when I switch directions, it's correctly residing. On the side, I move away from it, fool myself into disbelief and repent when I realize the rule is to exist. So let's be brief and real and switch on and rock the institution. Thank you very much. That was Truth and Dolphin. Much gratitude for you listening this afternoon. Hope you enjoyed the teas. Hope you enjoyed the strawberry diet. Hope you enjoyed the music. My album, Truth and Dolphin, is a poetry book. CDs aren't really anything that anybody's super interested in these days, but this is some beautiful photography. It's literally a book. We had it published here in Victoria by a local publisher. So there is a CD in the back, but it's not the point. If you want to check out our music though, you can go on Spotify, Apple Music, all those kind of streaming services and check out Truth and Dolphin. And appreciate you coming this afternoon. Thank you so much.